Fantastic. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to this great session. For those who don't know me, my name is Fred Gishuki. Fred has been in the wellness space for more than 20 years. I got involved in Neolife to make some money, but I found out about health and I got so excited about health, and that knowledge transformed my life. It changed my life, and I have been able to make a positive difference in so many people's lives because of getting involved in Neolife. Now, when I came to this company, my main motivation initially was money. It still is money, but I got a passion to making a positive difference in people's lives in terms of better health and wellness. And I always like saying that the first beneficiaries of my venture into Neolife were my parents, who were suffering from high blood pressure for my mom and ulcers for my dad. And they used the products of Neolife and they were able to regain their health. And that to me was quite exciting. It gave me confidence that I can be able to help anybody out there who has different challenges, and they can get well through the Neolife products. And today we are here talking about matters children, how we can be able to take care of our children, ensure that they are healthy, that they are well, even as they go back to school starting tomorrow. And I've made a few people co-hosts, Lydia and Kathy, just in case you cannot, if there's any mistake or any error, you can always tell me. If my screen is not moving, you can tell me. So let's start off and talk about our children, and let's talk about their diet. And this is a very serious topic because every day we are faced with some decisions that we have to make. And the picture on your screen actually depicts the decisions you have to make on a daily basis, both for yourself and also for our children, and especially for our children. Because as you can see on my left, which is your right probably, you can see all the manner of junk foods, from pizzas, burgers, chips, chicken, and all that. And in most cases, it's broiler chicken. And then on the right, you have your green leafy vegetables, your broccoli, your cauliflower, and all these things. All the good stuff is on the right, my right, that is. But then we have the burgers and the pizzas on the other side, which are very tempting. And a day like Sunday is usually a cheat day for most of the families out there. But the problem comes when you turn the cheat day to a regular thing, so that even on a weekday, you find that the kids are eating junk food throughout. Then it becomes a problem, yeah? And as much as possible, we need to get our kids to feed on the right stuff from the word go. And we are going to see why that is so important. Why should you give your children green leafy vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables, instead of pizzas, burgers, broiler chicken, and all that stuff? Now, that is the subject of our next page here. It talks about junk versus real food. Now, regular junk food intake leads to long-term health problems such as obesity and accompany emotional problems which come up later in life, not to mention chronic illnesses which also occur. Now, when you eat one meal of junk food, you are bound to add between 160 to 310 extra calories, kilojoules of calories per intake. And this is actually for children and everybody else. And this is a lot of calories just to take in one meal. But that is what happens when you take junk food. Now, what are some of the effects of giving children junk food on a regular basis? Now, if you give children junk food more than 3 times a week, then you get what we call atopy. And this can lead to some diseases, some disorders like asthma, eczema, and rhinitis. Then you also run a risk of the kids getting constipated I remember one time we went to the US, California, and we were eating a lot of junk food, pizzas, burgers. And by the third day, our systems were blocked. I mean, you just feel so bloated because of constipation, because you're not eating enough roughage. And when you give your kids a lot of junk food, this is bound to happen. Addiction, eating a lot of fast food in children during childhood makes it hard to eat healthy later in life. Even when they have medical conditions that dictate that they eat healthy, because they were used to eating junk food, they cannot go back to eating the regular food. And that becomes a real problem for that poor child. The other thing is poor academics. Fast food can lead to impaired academic performance. Yeah. This can be because of the fluctuation of sugar in the body, leading to crashes, poor concentration, and that kind of thing. But also, fast foods do not support. One of the things that I've come to learn from Neolife is that there's something we call CoQ10, which is very, very important in our bodies. And CoQ10 is the one that actually helps to fire up your cells. It goes to the mitochondria, gives them energy so that they can be able to, the cells can be able to produce energy. And when you have adequate amounts of CoQ10, then you're very, very alert, you're very, very energetic, and that kind of thing. Now, the interesting thing about CoQ10 is that when you give your kids fresh fruits and vegetables, the body is able to produce a lot of CoQ10. And that CoQ10 means that the kids' internal organs are able to function properly because the mitochondria is well fed with CoQ10. Now, when you don't give the children fresh fruits and vegetables, then it means less CoQ10 is produced, and that results to poor concentration. Now, on the other side is that one thing you learn about CoQ10 is that when you reach the age of 50, then the body stops producing more than 50% of the CoQ10 that you need. And that's why you find that most people, when they grow old, they start dozing off from the age of 50 and above. They sit down like this, and you find that suddenly they are dozing off because the body is not producing enough CoQ10. And that's why you need a supplement that will actually give you to bridge the gap in terms of CoQ10 that is not being produced by your body. But now we have brought this problem to our kids because when you don't give them enough fresh fruits and vegetables, then the body does not produce enough CoQ10. So the shidas are there, the problems that old people suffer from. Our teenagers are suffering from them, starting with fatigue, poor concentration, dozing off in class, and all these things, because the food you are giving them does not have enough fresh fruits and vegetables. So definitely that will have a negative impact on the academic performance. The other important thing that happens when you give junk food is the kids will have less energy. That is, of course, what we've been talking about. This can also lead to depression. When a kid becomes obese, obesity can lead to lowered self-esteem, and which can ultimately cause depression. Then sleep disturbances. When you take cola drinks and pops in the evening, you find that the kid is not able to sleep properly. And as a result, by the time he wakes up in the morning, he's feeling fatigued. So even when he goes to class, he doesn't perform as well. The other thing is hyperactivity. You know, it's amazing. I see parents, you feed your children a lot of junk food, and then the kid is hyper, is destroying things, reacting so badly, and you're wondering, why is my kid so hyperactive? And you tend to say, oh, you know, they are like so-and-so in the family, he was like this. But the truth is, you're giving the kids junk, you know, you're giving them crepes and all these junky foods. And then you expect the kid to behave normally. It cannot happen. When you have a sugar rush in the body, when the kid eats a lot of sweets and has a sugar rush in the body, they'll definitely become hyper. Something else that I learned in your life, which was quite exciting, is that when you're pregnant and you take a lot of junk food, you take a lot of processed fats and that kind of thing, you find that the fat cells of your fetus becomes enlarged. So you find that when you give birth, already the kid's fat cells are so large, and when they eat just the normal diet, you find that they have a tendency to gain weight and to become big-bodied. And it's amazing what happens in the stomach before you even give birth to that kid, which can either make that child live a healthy life or have problems. Things like diabetes, when you eat, some people say, oh man, you know, I have a craving for Coca-Cola, I have a craving for Fanta. When you're expectant and you drink gallons and gallons of soda, you are making that kid predisposed to diabetes. Chances of that kid developing diabetes later in life are extremely high based on the diet that you took when your kid was in the stomach. So the thing about cravings is actually something that can be sorted out through supplementation. You don't need to load your system with junk food in the name of craving, because if you do that, for some people, alcohol, then you're predisposing the kid. Because one thing that I also came to find out in your life is that when you take alcohol and you're expectant, you're running a risk of damaging the brain cells of the fetus, of the kid that you're about to give birth. And since the brain is those are the first cells that develop, you find that that kid runs a real risk of actually developing autism and other challenges, delayed milestones and all that kind of thing, because of the diet that you took, because of the alcohol that you took. And you realize one thing, that before a lady gets to know that she's expectant, sometimes it takes a while, because sometimes you may be having irregular periods and you might not know that you're expectant until a month or two later, after you've already conceived. And if you're still taking alcohol, then it means that you will actually feed that fetus alcohol by mistake, and the damage will be done. So it's important to really look at it and say, do I really want to have healthy children? And know that the diet that you give your children, even when they are in your stomach, when they are not yet born, and immediately after birth, plays a very big role. And even when during their early years, when they are infants, and going into becoming youth, also becomes very, very important. Now, how should your plate look like? That's how the plate should look like. It should have enough fruits and vegetables. Half of it should be actually fruits and vegetables. Whole grains, very, very important. Then, of course, protein, and good protein, yeah? And we can look at some of the examples of the proteins that are good. There we have your whole wheat bread. Now, bread is a topic by itself that can actually be covered, because there are many people who consume bread and they say it is wholemeal, but it's actually food color. So you have to be very careful. I happen to be a chef at one point in my life, and I can tell you that mostly what we call brown bread or wholemeal bread is actually just food color that is put into the wheat and into the flour, and it looks like brown bread. But there's nothing very whole about that, yeah? Then we have our oats. These are some examples of whole grains that you can actually give your children. Brown bread and purple rice, whole grain pasta, popcorn. Then we have things like whole wheat. There are a lot of options out there as far as whole grains are concerned. And I know we meet them on the shelves as we shop, but do we stop to buy them? That's a question. And if you buy them, will your kids take them? Because that's another issue. Because most of the children nowadays prefer sweet tamu things rather than the things that will actually nourish their bodies. But it is up to us as parents to really put our foot down and make sure that we minimize the amount of junk that the children are taking in, because there's no need for them to grow up and then they start having problems when they're young adults, in terms of lifestyle diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, and all these things, because of the diet that you gave them when they were young. And sometimes kids will cry and throw tantrums because they want junk food. But I always say this: we as parents have a right and have a responsibility to give the kid what is right for them, not what they want, because it's not all the time that what they want is healthy or right for them. I saw a case of a lady, a young girl, who was in my team at some point, and this girl had serious diabetes. In fact, she used to get fits, and she was on insulin injections and that kind of thing. And I had a conversation with her. I asked her, okay, fine. So what is it that you got the diabetes from somebody in your family? She told me, no, nobody in my family has ever had diabetes. Not my dad, not my grandchildren, not my grandparents. Nobody has ever had diabetes. So I asked her, okay, so fine. So where did you get it? She said, when I was a kid, I used to cry a lot because I always wanted to eat chips. So my parents started buying me chips on a daily basis. And because of that, I developed diabetes. And that to me was a lesson right there, that really you cannot go with what the kid wants. You have just to put your foot down and make sure that the kid is actually eating healthy. Now, this also shows you some of the nutrients, some of the foods that we are supposed to take or supposed to give our kids. Now, children need a lot of good protein, and we have examples of proteins over there. And one thing that I must say is that when you come to animal-based protein, then you have to be a bit keen on what you give them. You have to minimize on the sausages. You know, sausages have nitrites, and when you eat too much of them, it might not be too good for the child. Eggs are good, but again, you have to get eggs, kienyeji eggs, not from the free-range chicken, not from broiler chicken, because those ones are loaded down with hormones. Then chicken is good, but again, you have to eat the free-range chicken, yeah? So you have to be very selective, the kind of proteins, animal-based proteins that you give to your children. Now, plant-based proteins are generally good and are highly recommended. Things like pork, you have to minimize. In fact, red meat especially, should only be taken at least 3 times a week, not more than that. But white meat is highly recommended. Fish, chicken, and of course, I mentioned chicken should be the free-range chicken, the kienyeji one. Now, what does that do for the child? Now, if you look at the child's body, you'll find that everything you give the child will have an impact on a certain part of the body, whether it's the hair, whether it's the heart, and that diagram just graphically illustrates how you should fuel your body. And this one deserves a screenshot so that you can be able to share these on your platforms and share these with your groups. And we can be able to actually help parents out there know the importance of actually giving your child the right nutrition and the right food, because then their entire body becomes well, from their eyes, their teeth, their heart, their skin, reproductive organs, and all that. And you find that if you do this, then that child will have an easy life. But if you give them junk food, even normal things like giving birth, conceiving children later in life becomes a problem, because really they have not, they didn't get the right nutrition that could actually influence the proper growth and development of their bodies. Now, let's look at Neolife now and what Neolife has to offer as far as our children are concerned. And on the screen now, you can see Jerry Brasfield, who is the founder of Neolife. Jerry had asthma. He used the Neolife products when he was young, and he was able to fight it off. And he looked at it and he saw there was a business. He got involved. And long short of the story, he ended up owning the company. That's Jerry and his wife and daughter. On the right side of the screen, we have our scientific advisory board with Dr. Arthur Fast. Now, Arthur Fast is the one who invented chemotherapy for the treatment of cancer. But then he said, why should I wait for people to fall sick? I would rather do research and get to know why they fall sick and then provide interventions that will prevent them from falling sick in the first place. And he came together and formed what we call the Scientific Advisory Board. These are scientists that actually ensure that our products are safe, they don't have a side effect. In fact, we even give you a money-back guarantee on the products that if they don't do what we say they will do, then you can either get a refund or a replacement. Now, what are some of the products that are good for our kids? We have quite a number. We start off with VitaGuard. Now, VitaGuard is an exciting product. VitaGuard is made from carotenoids. It provides antioxidant protection. It's a sweet. It tastes, for those who are who have been in the world for a longer time, there used to be a sweet we used to call Patco. And VitaGuard tastes like that, you know. It's actually a sweet that you can suck or you can chew. So kids love it. And this is a product that you need to keep away. You give them 1 or 2 tablets, keep it away. Otherwise, they'll finish the whole can in one day because it is actually very sweet. It is naturally flavored from fruits. So there is no synthetic thing added to VitaGuard. And VitaGuard provides immunity for the child. Yeah, it forms a protective cover on the cells, helps to boost the immunity for the child. So when the adult is taking carotenoid complex, then the child is taking VitaGuard. Yeah. The next product is called Vita Squares. Vita Squares. Now, Vita Squared is a multivitamin. It's a multivitamin, and it has threonine in it. It has the lipids and sterols that you get from your threonine. It has vitamin A, it has vitamin C, which helps the correct function of the immune system. It has a whole spectrum of vitamins that your child needs, whether it's B1, B2, C, D, E, A, and that kind of thing. Now, it also has something called choline and inositol, which are good for brain development for the child. So if you want your child to get good grades, this is a product that you need to give them because it will actually help them to remember what they've been taught in class. Then you have omega-3 salmon oil plus. Now, I must say for my children, I started them on omega-3 when they were 1 day old. The only day they didn't take omega-3 is the first day of their life on this planet because they were in hospital and I was not able to sneak it in. But the next day when they landed home, they started off on omega-3 salmon. And we used to blister the pack, the capsule and squeeze it in their mouth. And I always say this, when I was young, my mom used to give me cod liver oil, 7 C's, there was another one. I forget the name. But they used to taste so badly. But you are forced to take them. And she would put a cane next to on the table and put the drink here and you had to swallow it. So our parents knew about supplementation, but the modern day parent does not supplement their kids. They wait until the kid gets sick, then they rush them to hospital and they are pumped with antibiotics and drugs and all that kind of thing. And those drugs also bring other problems, yeah? So it is important to supplement your kids. Don't wait for them to fall sick, yeah? And omega-3 salmon oil will actually do that for you. It has so many benefits, prevents colds and flus, chest pains, strengthens the immunity. It actually creates a strong heart and body development. Omega-3 helps to ensure that the kid doesn't get things like high blood pressure and stuff like that by clearing the cholesterol that accumulates in the body. So it's a product that you need. It's a product that you need, and you need to give it to your kids. And preferably, if you can start taking omega-3 even when you're expectant, so that the brain cells of the child can actually be larger, so that this kid, when they are born, they can be able to absorb information and retain more information in class. The earlier you start on omega-3, the better for your child. Yeah. The next product is vitamin C, or chewable oil C. This is a relatively new product that was brought in the market, and it supports the proper functioning of the immune system. It has a delicious cherry flavor. It has what we call the Neoplex concentrate, and contains phytonutrient spectrum of whole oranges. And as you know, that vitamin C is very, very important for fighting colds and flus, which kids are always having, and which, like now this weather, kids will start having running noses. As they're going back to school, they definitely need some vitamin C. Then you have our Neolife Shake. The picture there shows NutriShake, but that was discontinued. So what we have nowadays is Neolife Shake, which is a better version of NutriShake. Actually, they took NutriShake and they added fiber in it. They added lipotropic factors and more vitamins, and you have a better quality product in terms of Neolife Shake. What benefits do you get? Neolife Shake actually helps to deal with allergies, all kinds of allergies, and whether they're respiratory allergies, whatever allergy that the kid may be facing will be sorted out by Neolife Shake. You mix it with any kind of drink that you're giving your child, whether it is yogurt, you can make a smoothie, you can use it in different manner of ways. And it has 22 amino acids, so it aids in proper growth and development of the child. The cells of children are reproducing very rapidly as they grow. And if you give them Neolife Shake when they are young, then you give them a very good nutritional foundation, which means that when they grow up, they won't be falling sick so often like other kids do. And if they do, they'll be recovering very fast. Another product that is relatively new in our market is called Liquivite. And I think this is a product that many people don't sell and they are not aware of. I find that I'm able to sell this product, especially it replaces VitaSquares, VitaGuard, and All C. Yeah, it replaces those three products in one product because it has your carotenoids, it has your threonine in it, then it has your vitamins and minerals, it has your B12, it has your folic, niacin, biotin, pantothenic acid. It also has a bit of amino acids and some flavonoids. It's a very, very rich product. And what I like about this product is that it's a concentrate. So you dilute it with water. It's actually quite concentrated. And you can dilute it with water. And when you give this product, you can then combine. If a child has a particular issue, or if a mature person, an elderly person who doesn't want to swallow tablets, you can give them Liquivite. And on top of Liquivite, you can add other things, and they'll still get the nutrition that they are looking for. So it's an amazing product that you can use. It was developed for infants, those who cannot chew tablets, but I find that I'm able to recommend it across the board, depending on the whether it's a teenager, whether it's an adult, whether it's a young person, depending on the program that I'm giving. And if somebody is not able to take tablets or doesn't like swallowing tablets, then you can go with Liquivite, you can go with Neolife Shake, and that person still gets the nutrition that they're looking for. So those are the products for teenagers. Now, for children, another product that is important as the kids go back to school is your Mind Enhancement. Now, Mind Enhancement is a herbal blend that actually optimizes mental performance for the children, for children and adults as well. And it helps in clear thinking, proper recall, and focused concentration. These are products that when you take right now yourself, you'll find that you'll be able to recollect things better. It cleanses the gray matter. In fact, for me, when I take mind enhancement, I find that the first 1 or 2 days, I feel a slight headache when it is actually cleansing my mind. And after a while, the headache disappears and I'm good to go. So it's an amazing product. And it has 7 herbs in it, including ginkgo biloba, gotu kola, red sage. These are herbs that help in brain performance. It maintains levels of neurotransmitter, strengthening memory and concentration. And it also helps protect delicate cerebral tissues. So these are products that we need to sell a lot of. I've given this program to so many people. My own kids have used it, and they end up performing very well in their exams. Now, when the young people get into teenage, what do you give them? If you can take a screenshot of what is on the screen, then you will actually see the program for teenagers. So you have your Formula 4. Why Formula 4? Formula 4 has threonine, and it has minerals. Yeah, it's a multivite. And then it has a bit of iron. And you find that teenagers need a bit of iron to ensure that they have a good blood count. Especially at this point, if it's a young girl, she's already started her menses, so she needs some iron. And that is why Formula 4 has been put there. If it's a young man, again, he needs some iron. He's moving so fast, he's playing sports. He needs threonine, he needs some vitamins and also some iron. Then omega-3 salmon oil, again, very important for lubricating, for producing synovial fluid in the joints, for the activity that the kids are doing, for recovery, for injuries, brain performance, recall, like we said, extremely important. Zinc is responsible for proper growth and development of children. So for your child to reach the right height, to break the voice at the right time, to grow the reproductive organs, the breasts, and all that at the right time, then you need adequate amounts of zinc. If your child is zinc deficient, then chances are high they might develop delayed milestones. So it's important to give your child zinc and enough zinc so that they can be able to grow into proper young adults. Then mind enhancement, I talked about mind enhancement and brain performance in class. Neolife Shake to help build the muscles, to help ensure that as the child grows, they grow in the right way. And you know, proteins actually renew and repair the tissues in the body. So that is the program for children. And there you have it. That's another important screenshot that you can take. The answer is Omega Salmon Plus for brain power while studying and writing, chelated zinc for improved concentration, keeping you focused, mind enhancement for enhanced memory and accurate recall. That's a screenshot that definitely you need to take. And I must say, I also don't mind doing the same, because really it actually covers it, that you need to send this to everybody that you actually know, and it is going to put it on your, it's actually going to give you some business. You can also put it on your status so that you can be able to attract some business to you. We have candidates, I know they are going to the second term, and this is a critical time for them to start taking these 3 products, mind enhancement, zinc, and omega-3 salmon, so that their focus and concentration is enhanced, and they can be able to start preparing for their exams. So there you have it. That's a program for children. And I always say that it's important to actually give children the attention they deserve nutritionally. We spend a lot of money taking them to good schools, spending money on tuition, remedial, and whatever you call it. and we're taking them for trips and all that, but you don't spend enough on their nutrition. And what you are saying now is that we need to go a step ahead. And as your child goes to school tomorrow or the day after, get them some supplements that they can go with so that it can supplement the diet that they are being given in school. Because definitely the diet that they are being given in school is very similar to the diet that they eat at home. And it is deficient in all the nutrients that the body needs. And these are growing persons. So if you can be able to ensure that you get your child the right supplements, then you actually run a chance of getting a very healthy child who will be able to perform well in class and also grow into nice young adults. So at this juncture, I want to invite a leader. This is a lady that I've known for a while. She's a member of my team. She's one of my very strong directors, Emerald directors. She's a wild team in waiting. And this is a lady that we've traveled with abroad severally with Neolife. And she happens to be a principal in a school. And I thought she'd be the right person to come and share with us her testimony about these products, what they have meant for her, and what she has seen these products do for students who have actually used them. So I want to invite Juliet. Juliet, are you there?
Yes, Fred, I'm here.
Fantastic, fantastic. Then you can
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. You can take it away.
All right. So, good evening, good people. It's so exciting, to talk about these products, to talk about this opportunity. My name is Juliet, as you've told by Fred. I've been told by Fred, I'm a teacher by profession for the last about 25 years. And I came across this opportunity through a colleague teacher. And actually, for me, my main motivation, when I saw and when she explained to me, when I learned about travel, I like traveling. That is what took my attention first. But when I joined and I started using the products, is when I realized that I really, really needed them personally and also my family. I'll start with, for me, the benefit that I got health-wise. I come from a family where we suffer from allergies of the upper respiratory system. And every morning, especially upon taking a shower, I would spend about 10 minutes sneezing. And for me, it had been part of it, the way you accept and say, we are that way, I'm that way. And upon using our omega-3 and our 3NN, I got the relief. Actually, I forgot to carry handkerchiefs. I would always carry handkerchiefs because my nose would just start running any time of the day and it was not a cold. So one time a student of mine asked me, "Teacher, you always have a cold, or what is the problem?" The problem was, it's called rhinitis. It's an allergy that's either of dust or cold, or just any change. Like now during this weather, I would be just so unwell, So what I'd like to say is that these products are awesome. They work. What I can say about 3NN is one of the products. It's our whole grain supplement that helps to keep ourselves healthy, to keep ourselves active, and to give you energy throughout your working day. And as a teacher, my work is involving. For us, we don't just sit. Most of the time we are up, standing and moving with the young people. So I don't feel tired the whole day. Another thing the products have given me an advantage of is sometimes people have a difficult time guessing my age, So when I tell people that I'm turning 50 this year, they are kind of in doubt. And I know the products have contributed a great, great deal to how I look and how I feel. So I'd like to ask everybody on the call, if you're here, you've been invited to learn about the products. The products are awesome. If you're here, you're a distributor. Maybe you've not been here for long. Just share these products with a lot of confidence, because whatever it is that they say they do, they do. The products work. As you've heard about the 100, the money back guarantee is because the company is absolutely sure of the quality and of the efficiency of our products. Apart from the health part of us, of course, I've gained, I earn an extra income every single month. As a high school teacher of over 20 years, I can tell you a salary is not something to really write home about. It can't meet all your needs. And therefore, now that I'm not far from retirement, this is also one of my retirement plans. And I'm sharing it with my colleagues and those who care to listen, because truth be said, when you're used to a salary and then all of a sudden you come and start making very big investment on something you're not sure of, many of the times you get disappointed because you don't get the return that you're expecting. But here, you grow from a small capital and you grow as big as your dreams are. So maybe what I'd like to say, especially about children, okay, as Fred has said, I'm a director in this business and I to move to the world team, because when you're in the world team, every year you must travel. Sponsored by the company. And it's not just travel within East Africa, it's all over the world. So I'm also very excited about that. So if you're here and you're a guest, so ask the person who invited you to tell you more about the opportunity so that you can also join us. For the children, what I'd like to say is I've dealt with children for the last 25 years. And I'd like to say that the diets we are taking today are not like the ones our parents gave us. The soils have changed. Everything has changed. It's such that our food stars are not as, they don't have as much nutrition as they used to have. So supplementation is supposed to be part of life. You see, like the growing children, they need nutrition even more than we who are older. So those products that Fred has talked about, especially now for the younger ones, especially in the primary school and the junior secondary, you can give them the omega-3, the Vita Squares, the Vita Guards. They'll be well covered. Those ones who are over 13, add onto it CalMag and some zinc, so that now they can take care of the minerals, because they are growing very, very, very fast. For the teenagers who are older, like in high schools, you can give them the 3NN. Of course, remember the mind enhancement is for everyone. It's going to keep their minds sharp. They're going to be, they're not going to struggle so much in school, because at least their brains are going to be, assisted by this wonderful herbal. I assist my children with it. I have a niece who is doing medicine, and sometimes it becomes very crazy when they're doing exams. And mind enhancement has been coming in very handy for her. And their mom has been good because she's also been buying for them supplements since they were young. So when I say that these products work, it is true. You are not going to strain so much with your children, that listlessness that Fred was talking about, hyperactivity. And by the way, when you give your children, especially the Vita Guards, because this youthful age, this very young age, they use a lot of energy, so they crave for sugar. So when you give them the Vita Guards and the Vita Squares, the cravings for sugars, the sweets are going to go they will not even be remembering a lot of times eat sweets, because now their sugar levels are going to be well controlled. The reason why kids crave sugar so much is because their levels of sugar spike and then they come down very fast. Therefore, they keep wanting those sweet things. So give your children Vita Guard, give them Vita Squares, omega-3, and I can assure you, you'll forget the face of the doctor. You'll visit the doctor very few times, and your child will be very, happy in school, because they're not going to be always being punished for not finishing their homework. They are so tired by the end of the day. In the morning, you struggle to wake them up because they feel like they have not had enough sleep. You're just going to have a very, very, very wonderful time. So I would like to encourage you parents, for yourselves, use these supplements. For your children, use them too, and you will not regret. Otherwise, Fred, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. Not only as a Neolife distributor, but also a teacher, somebody who is in this profession who handles young people. And by the parents, when we talk about even health, it's not just physical health that is affected by poor nutrition, even the mental health. You've had a very high case of stress, high stress levels in our youth today. It is partly because of the nutrition. When a child is well nourished, even they are going to be able to handle stress levels. And even a product as simple as 3NN helps with that, because see, now when you're feeling like energetic, when cells are healthy, all the way from brain cells and all the other parts of the body. So thank you very, very much. That's what I would like to say about our products. So I think I'd like to give it back to Fred so that we can carry on. Thank you, Fred, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Over to you, Fred.
Yes, thank you so much, Juliet, for that great testimony. There you have it. As you can see when you look at her, you can see the products work. Yeah. We have amazing products, and guys, we all need to use these products. Don't wait to fall sick to start running around and wondering what you're going to take. Start now when you're still healthy so that you can safeguard your health and you can live to be a ripe old age. And also start your children when they are young. You know, one of the things that I find is that the people in the developed world start supplementing their kids at a very, very young age. I remember trying to prospect a young guy from Japan who was visiting the country. And this guy was about 18 years of age. And I was telling him about supplements. And he was telling me, okay, fine, what are those? When I said supplements, he couldn't understand. Then I told him multivitamins. He said, oh, multivites. I know about multivites. And I told him, okay, fine. We have this, we have that. And he said, wow, I know those things. I have them. He went to the bedroom. He picked up a whole bag. He dumped the things on the table. He had a whole supply. He was in Kenya for about a month, and he had carried a month's supply of supplements from Japan. Of course, they were not Neolife products, but the mom, the parents had insisted that he carries them. And he told me, I've been taking these things since I was a kid, you know? And I just found that to be quite amazing, that they do take care of their kids in terms of nutrition. Whereas for us, we assume that once they eat the ugali, the big ugali and the meat and all that they are covered. Yet we know very well that our diet is deficient in the nutrients that are required for the child. So it is important for us to take this very seriously and to take action and to get some supplies for our children as they go to school tomorrow and the day after. So we've come to the end of our session. It was great having you on the call. This recording will be available a little bit later today for you to share with your friend, with your neighbor, and with your team, and even your customers. And if you want to know more about the business, how you can be able to make money, how you can be able to travel, Juliet mentioned that she loves traveling. We've traveled with her severally with Neolife, with her and her husband. We've had a lot of fun in the planes to South Africa, to London, and a few other destinations. So even you can be able to experience that kind of lifestyle. So if you want to know how you can be able to make money, join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. When we will be having one of our leaders all the way from South Africa, who will be taking us through how do you make money in your life? How do you excel as far as money is concerned with Neolife? So otherwise, it was great having you on the call. Have a restful Sunday evening. And I look forward to see you tomorrow in the evening at 8 o'clock in the seminar by Pascal. But otherwise, on Sunday, we will also be back again, and we'll be talking about a different aspect of health, and we'll be learning some more. So thank you so much. God bless you, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.